Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry for that. Welcome to episode 210 of Independent Scene Podcast. We are talking with truck driver and podcaster Chauncey Morris Jr. He's definitely been giving us some gems on his career, his path, what led him into the business. I have truly been enjoying the conversation thus far with him, and he is already back in the building. So, ladies and gentlemen, please govern yourselves accordingly. And we're gonna try this thing again. Instagram, please let us be great. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm gonna say at this point. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back my guest, Chauncey Morris Jr. Let's get it. Can you hear me, brother? Can you hear me? I don't know why Instagram won't let us be great, y'all. Y'all know how that go. Hold on, Chauncey. We're trying to get you back in, my brother. We're trying to get you back in. Because I know on my end everything was good. What's going on, sis? What's going on? Chauncey, tap back in, brother. Tap back in. Pop out, pop back in. I don't know what's going on with Instagram algorithm of today, but Instagram, please get your please, please Instagram. I need you to let me be great. Let me be great. Y'all know I run my show on y'all platform. Come on now. There we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
You can see me?
Yeah, I can see you clearly, man.
Most definitely, most definitely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with my special guest right here, episode 210, Chauncey Morris Jr., truck driver, podcaster. He wears a lot of different hats, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna pick back up from where we left off. So, so with you being in this being in the trucking field and in the podcasting field, do you ever get any time to really have that time to step away from both sides of the spectrum and really just have that time to yourself? Do you have those moments?
I'm gonna be honest with you. The answer is no. And it's not well. The trucking company is very demanding.
Okay.
If we got trucks on the road, or especially if they are running, from state to state in the middle of the night, I have to have the phone close to me, because it's our company, because we haven't grown to the place where I have a network of people working for me. It can be very, very demanding. So to be honest with you, I use the podcast as a outlet for me. That's the reason why my podcast, the Genesis Project, is so uncut. It derives from the things that I experience and the conversations that I've had with people, and also things that I ponder is what I throw out there because of that. Because I don't actually have the time that I used to have. Because my favorite outlet is actually writing.
Okay.
For half of my life, I was writing poems, like I said, short stories. I've written about eight movie scripts, screenplays. Like, that's my passion, my penmanship. But the podcast gave me a chance to be more oracle, more vocal than having to write things down. So that's where it comes from. So that's where my freedom is, and I need it because, like a job like trucking, when you're going from city to city, state to state, you're encountering people that you may have never seen before, you may never see again. When I was over the road, when I first got into the business, You have to drive cross country for a year. And I hadn't never experienced nothing like that. I was 27 years old when I started it. And you think you know a lot about the world when you start driving, you know, when you get 27 and you ride. When I got into that truck with a trainer and left North Carolina away from my family, I did not know the world that I was going to encounter living from state to state, you know, where I could be in New York City one night, 2 days later, I'm in Indiana, then, you know, or I'm in New Hampshire, then I may be in Texas, and I'm down in Florida. Like I lived that lifestyle of actually living out on the road, and I got to see the different demographics of people. You know, I got to see the difference that the North and the way that people live is different from the way that people live in the South. And the South that has the Bible Belt have a whole different mentality than when you go to the Midwest, where the Midwest, with all that open space, people live differently. Now, I only went as far as Texas. I didn't get a chance to go to California driving a truck, but I've encountered a lot of people from there. And the West Coast is even completely different than all of the rest. So like I said, I actually felt like when I got into trucking, I started to learn life all over again. It was an experience, man, you know, and I'm appreciative of it, but I don't want to live my life like that. Like I'm home every night when I do drive the truck. So sometimes I'm in the office, sometimes I'm driving. I want to be with my family. But at that time, that's the dues I had to pay. As a lot of other people who get into that field, you got to go out there and you got to run and learn the ropes. So yeah, it changed me. It changed me, man.
Okay.
It really did.
Okay. Okay. Well, definitely, man. I definitely, first and foremost, man, I gotta salute you, man, on everything that you're doing, man. You're doing such a phenomenal and an incredible job doing what you're doing, and I definitely support it. You definitely have my full support, 1,000%. You definitely are more than welcome to come back anytime that you like and tap in with us. Let us know what's going on. You're always more than welcome to stop by anytime, man.
Yes,
Definitely,
sir.
that's from me to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I think we got some stuff to build with, man. There's a lot of rhetoric of that we need to hit and touch. And I'm always, man, believe it or not, every day I'm always on ready, set, go when it comes to conversation. One of my specialties, and I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there, is relationship. I do consider myself a relationship builder. I had an opportunity to actually go to school for a short period of time, and I
Okay.
became what a Kairos solutionist, which is one step under a certified life coach. And again, when you do these things, you're discovering about you before you go decide to go help somebody else. And I learned how to, for a lack of a better word, I learned how to love myself more healthily.
Okay.
Just when I say that, when I listened to Noni on the previous episode, one of the things that I discovered about her that I respect is she has no lack in loving herself because of the things that she's been through and what was now required for her to be the person that she is. So that is the kind of thing that I look for with everyone that I encounter, because I spent half of my life. Now I can give you all these accolades, right? You know, and I can tell you, you know, the multifaceted things that I've done. But to turn around and tell you that I lived through all of those things, but I didn't know how to love myself, that changes the dynamic, because you can't go but so far in this world, especially when you're trying to build something that's real, if you omit how important it is to love you through those things. I wasn't taught that. My family taught me how to survive, taught me how to work. I was masterful as being a provider, But to learn how to take all of that and turn that into how it's beneficial in my personal health, my mental health, my personal development, and my personal evolution, I didn't know how to do those things. So there was a point where all of those things was happening in my life, and I'm still admitting stuff, but that I didn't love myself. And I began to die internally because I became those things. And that's not what we're supposed to be. We don't become the things that we love. We do those things because we love ourselves. That's a difference.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
different focus.
Okay.
Because we have to approach those things from a healthy point of view, mentally, physically, spiritually. We got to approach the most important things in our life from a healthy point of view. Because when I say healthy is what's producing life in us, what's producing that joy, what's producing that peace, what produces healing in us. So if we're involved in things that's not doing that, then you know what it's doing? It's robbing us. And I love telling people that it's robbing us. It's illegal. It's taking from us instead of giving back and contributing to us. So it doesn't matter, what we get involved in. We just got to make sure that what we get involved in is healthy for us, my brother. Because that's what's going to produce longevity, life. So I'm more in tune to that than I am the accolades, because the accolades are great. I don't take that for granted. My 30-some years with my wife, that's amazing. My children, my career, and my passions, those things are amazing. But what I'm admitting to the world is I was doing those things as a hollow shell of myself. I wasn't living the best version of myself because I just gave myself to all those things. So this is what happens with most people. What if those things are taken away? Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you be you, whether you got $1 million in the bank or there's zero in the account? Do you still love? Do you still function? If you can't function and be at your best because of what you have and don't have, then eventually when you don't have or when something is taken away, it's like it's taking a part of you away. So now I am not those things. Those things are what I do and what I'm involved in. There are many layers to me, but I had to learn how to love myself to be able to start succeeding at the things that I'm now doing. So that's where I was saying when we started with the Genesis Project, my goal was to drag everybody back to slavery. My goal was to really exploit the effects of what slavery has had on our generation after slavery, and the mentality that we have to battle in order to be free enough to be able to function in this world. Because see, if we can't function freely in our mind, we can't compete. You understand? We are already defeated if we already come into the battle with a less than mindset. So we have to continuously wash those slavery impactful mental things that have been cratered into our people. It's affected many different graphics of people, but I'm really talking about our people at the moment, for the reason why we are always put up against one another. The reason why instead of supporting one another, we compete. The competition was something sold into us so that we wouldn't come together to build something greater than what our masters had. So they had to separate us from not being able to read and write. But the way that God created us, we were the master builders. And what slavery did was strip us of our identity. It didn't create our identity. They tried to rename us and relabel us as cattle, but we were the greatest and the strongest and the most intelligent beings on the planet. And if you go and take a step further, they come from us. We don't come from them. So, you know, those mentalities is what we got to talk about to exploit those things that are hidden in our family for generations and generations. So that's how the need for me to get mental health. That was the need for me to really get reborn again, and the discovery of who I should be versus what the world tell me I should be. It's a difference. So
Okay.
I'm drawing it back in and regaining my power. And man, that's the hard, long road. It's not the easy road. You know,
Wow.
it's built on integrity. Go ahead, my brother.
Man, I'm just man. Listen, I'm mesmerized right now because I'm taking all this in, man, and I'm learning from you just by listening to you, man. So I wanna ask you this, man, and for the people that are now tuning in, so we want to welcome you to the platform. Real quickly, for the people that's tapping in, how many years have you been doing podcasts, and how many years have you been doing trucking? For the people that are just tapping in.
I've been in trucking 20 years. I've been in podcasting a year and a half now.
Okay.
A year and a half solid.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. So for people who are wanting to get into the trucking field or the podcasting field, real quickly, if you could sum it up, what are the steps real quickly that a person needs to successfully be able to survive in either the trucking industry or the podcast industry?
I see where you're going with this. Let me say this. I'm gonna start with the trucking first because that's where I have the most experience. I want to say that before you get into trucking, because trucking is a career. To become a truck driver, you will be changing your career because it requires a lifestyle change. You need to decide what you want from it because everybody isn't going to own their own trucking company. Okay, everyone isn't going to own their own truck, but you can make a lot of money on how you build your career. So if you're the type of person that you want to stay close to your family, and you're not willing to take that step further to do long haul, there are trucking companies like Coca-Cola, Budweiser, all of the cement, companies, like they have trucks, smaller trucks, local trucks, where you get paid by the hour. And you can actually go to a truck driving school and get hired by them and get paid by the hour, and you can have a regular job. But the hours for a truck driver are demanding because you're not going to work a short period of time. But you can get paid handsomely. You're going to do the work. When trucking, nothing comes easy. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to drive something. But if you decide to go locally, then just expect that you're going to do frequent stops, frequent deliveries and pickup. That you might have to, in some jobs, you might have to load or unload your own truck, or like for the cement guys, you have to learn how you drive the truck, but you have to learn how to pour cement. If you drive a dump truck, which is another hourly job, you're going to have to learn how to properly dump your load and things of that nature. So you, the individual, are going to have to determine what you want out of trucking. So my first thing is educate yourself, investigate. Figure out what's out there, Google it, or find somebody that that's involved, and hopefully they will give you an honest assessment. Since I've been out here, I've always been the guy that people can come to and just ask questions, because no question is stupid. If you don't know, then there's someone who has an answer for you. Well, if I come across people who are just getting in the field and new, and they're having trouble, I don't mind at all. I almost am glad to be of service to young people who are getting in. The thing is, dynamic thing about it is the people that are getting in truck. When I first got into trucking, which was in the early 90s, matter of fact, it was 1990. Wow, it was too long ago. It was no, I'm sorry, it was 2002. Um,
Okay.
it wasn't a female dominant industry. It wasn't. It was actually all majority male dominant, and so there was a macho attitude, prideful attitude about the truckers. Now, fast forward 2022, I'm going to say it's about 60-40 now. It's almost as many women in trucking now as it is in men. And women had a fight to get in to prove that they were just as good, if not better, than this male-dominated field. So now you seeing all demographics of people in trucking now. I'm talking about retired military. I'm talking about retired law enforcement. I'm talking about judges who want to change their lifestyle. They go get into trucking, husband and wife team. And listen, because the part of long haul that's appealing to some people is you're actually getting paid to travel. So you go
Okay.
get in a truck and you go run, you do your assignment, and let's say you picking up in New York and your load delivers in Las Vegas. Well, when you get to Las Vegas and unload, if it's close to the weekend and you got to take your 34-hour reset, people are vacationing over the weekend. They're going and do their thing, and then that Monday morning they're getting back in the truck and they go to work. They're getting paid to travel. That is the appeal for long haul trucking. You
Okay.
could be in, you can be in any sector of the United States. So
Okay.
with trucking, do your homework.
Okay.
The
Uh,
tragedy is when you don't know who to talk to. The recruiters will offer you the entire world, and you'll find out it's not the truth. They just want to do just like everybody else.
okay.
Get the job and get you on the job, and then have you stuck in that truck running, and you don't hardly see your family. So you gotta learn.
Okay.
Now podcasting is different for me because it's my new baby. Um, I would say that, and now because of the pandemic, social media platforms are now some of the ways that a lot of people have gotten wealthy and got very popular, and rightfully so. Anything that is beneficial to individuals that people can get a part of, then I believe in it, man. I'm in all support of it. But the thing about it is, I don't care what your podcast is, it's still your baby, and you develop it, and it go as far as the work that you put into it. So for me, podcasting isn't my passion. I'm still learning about it, but I'm starting to get comfortable, and that's allowing me to open up even more and be free about the things that I talk about on my platform. And
Okay.
like I said, I enjoyed even when you was reaching out. I was like, yes, I'm always down to support other people in what they're trying to build because we all got a message. Now, one thing for sure is, man, you just to do some random stuff because you think you're popular, you're not going to make it. You come with a purpose. And I can't tell you what that purpose is, but it's all about self-discovery. And that's what will cause people to survive in the podcast game. So,
Okay. Okay.
yes.
Well, I definitely appreciate those responses, man, and I'm definitely, so I definitely can't wait to bring you back for a part two, man, because there's a lot more that I would love to get into it with you, man. But I'm gonna definitely make sure I reach out to you again to bring you back
Yes.
for a part two. So my last two questions I have for you, because like I said, I am gonna bring you back because I do want to bring you back for a part two because I have more things I want to pick your brain about.
Yes.
So my last two questions I have for you is, as far as the current state of the world right now, what are you looking forward to most about your business and your company and how it progresses from here on out? What is, if you could say, if there was one thing that you could say about your company progressing from this point out, what would that one word be?
Um, that's a good question, and I'm long-winded, so I'm gonna try my best to narrow it down. Um, the I could easily say improve in finances,
Okay.
but mainly because of my passion, I want this particular company to create opportunities for other people.
Okay.
That's more important to me. It's not just about me creating a lucrative opportunity for myself, because I'm not after the fast money. I'm after the slow wealth, not the rich. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm learning the dynamics of how money moves so that I can be wealthy. There's two different things, because the lesson that I was taught is rich is something that happens fast. It's quick money, and just as fast as you get it, you can lose it.
You can
But
lose.
when you're
Yes.
wealthy, it takes time to establish. It takes time to build, and just as long as it takes to build will be as long as it will take for you to lose it. So I am not after being rich. I am after being wealthy. But in my heart of heart, I want people that work with me to be as wealthy as I. I don't. Even though I'm some of these guys and gals bosses, I don't. I don't consider myself a boss. I consider myself a partner, because they are influential in helping me achieve the dream of this particular company that me and my partners have built. So we consider them partners as well, because they're putting the sacrifice in their life, sacrificing their skill to help build the company. So for me, I want our company, which I'm going to go ahead and give the name of. It's called Morris Edward Kreider Logistics, which is EKM Logistics for short. I want EKM Logistics to be a parent company to many other opportunities for many other people. I mean, I am not only trying to build my trucking company, but I'm preparing to help other people build theirs as well. So that's just a part of it. I want us to be able to be equally beneficial for other people with the trucking company.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, like I said, for those of you that have tuned in, I definitely hope that you guys have gotten some notes, gotten some gems from my brother here, Chauncey Morris Jr. Man, real quickly, man. I just want to take this opportunity right now to thank you for tapping in with us, man. I have truly, within the amount of time that we've had this conversation, man, I've definitely have enjoyed it, man. Definitely have learned a few things here and there just by listening to you, man. And you definitely got a lot. You definitely got a lot going. And like I said, I definitely like to support you 1,000%, salute you 1,000%, and always
Thank you.
feel free to come back anytime you get ready. The door is always open. Real quick before we wrap this thing up, man, where can the people follow and tap in with you at for more information if they want to get into, and get into the field? Where can they? How can they get in contact with you?
Well, I'm going to keep it real simple. I like for everyone that interested in this field, they want to contact us. Instead of calling us, just email us. I'm going to give the email, which is ekmlogistics with an S, the number 3 at gmail.com, and kind of let us know what you're interested in, whether it's you're learning how to get on, you're looking for a job, or you're asking questions on how can you establish. And what that does is it exposes you to everyone that's monitoring that email in the company. So even if you can't get me, someone, including my wife, will be able to direct you to me. Leave your name, your information, your phone number, and somebody will get back to you. I mean, like I said, we love to help and build with people. But if you want to know more in depth about what's going on with us, tune into the Genesis Project. It's airing every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. for now. And we will work to go into a live show, but right now we're doing pre-recorded shows just because of the time and the slot and how busy my schedule is. So that's the best way for you to get in contact with us. And I like to mention, shout out to my wife. Her name is Tasha Morris. but her nickname is Lisa. Everyone's not privy to her. She's in the background.
Shouts out to Miss
And
Morris. Shouts out to her for getting you right, getting you situated out. Well, I appreciate it.
listen, I'll be the first man to admit it. She is the other side of my brain. I mean that. I mean, I'm right brained as all get out. I work. I'm on the creative side of my brain. She's on the left. She's the left hemisphere. She keeps me straight. If I can't do it, I know she can. So I always like to shout her out.
And listen, and with that being said, that's the true beauty of a black love relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
And like I said, I definitely support it in every sense of the word. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my time. I am the one and true and living legend, Hunter J. 23 of Independent Scene Podcast. Special thanks to my guest, Chauncey Morris Jr. from Genesis Project, for coming in and tapping in with us right here on episode 210. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time on another edition of Independent Scene Podcast. This is your boy Hunter J. We out, guys.
Peace out, bro.
Peace out, sir.